Good evening, I'm Anab.
And I'm Melu.
And we'll be your hosts tonight.
Don't worry, we're related. We're in the same COVID bubble. So it's okay that we're standing together.
And our tiny film crew is masked and well over 6 feet away.
Now that that's settled, let's get the show started. Welcome to
People Eating and Giving.
Now sit right back and you'll hear the tale of an odyssey, a saga of the triumphs of the fearless crew of the Bureau of Fearless Ideas, the Bureau of Fearless Ideas. Seas of change were rough this year, the winds they did blow cold, but thanks to the fearless love of writing and words, their stories will be told, their stories will be told, with Erica Mullen, Chris Robinson, Ian Bell, Faith Aiken, Roberto Ascalon, and Brian Wilson, and the students of Fearless Ideas, the volunteers and donors and the students of Fearless Ideas.
Nothing kicks off a fundraiser quite like a sea shanty.
Before we start, we would like to thank everyone who made tonight possible.
And a huge thanks to our amazing event heroes and champions.
And of course,
donors like you. If you're watching on our website, click the donate button below, whenever you'd like.
If you're watching on YouTube, go to our website at fearlessideas.org and click the donate now button.
We're excited to announce that every donation made tonight, April 3rd, between 7 and 8 p.m. will be matched.
Normally, we would all be in a glamorous event space.
But tonight, Anab and I are coming to you from our Greenwood space.
So if it sounds a little echoey, it's because it's been empty for over a year.
I can't believe it's been over a year since we've been able to be here.
It kind of feels like we never left.
I know. Our names are still on the cubbies.
And some of them still have journals and unfinished projects in them.
There's even pens and sharpened pencils ready to write amazing stories.
I miss this place. It feels like home.
But when COVID-19 forced BFI to shut its doors, it found a new home.
In our homes.
It's been a crazy journey to get us to where we are today.
You might even call it an odyssey.
So tonight, we're going to be your storytellers as we share that odyssey with you.
Where should we start?
Let's start with book 1 of 2021, a maintained 6 feet of space odyssey. And so, King Inslee proclaimed the stay-at-home order was to go in effect across the land. Executive Director Erica Mullen and the Fearless Ideas community jumped into action. Oh, this is an illustrated version. And look, it's Erica and longtime Fearless Ideas student, Phoebe.
Hi, Phoebe. Thanks so much for joining me tonight for a conversation about Fearless Ideas. Let's start by introducing ourselves. My name is Erica Mullen, and I'm the Executive Director for the Bureau of Fearless Ideas, and I've been here for about 2.5 years. And one of my favorite parts of my job is getting to talk to students like you, so I'm so happy you're here.
Hi, my name is Phoebe Elmosen, and I've been coming to Fearless Ideas for about 5 years now.
Thanks, Phoebe. To start, I'm interested in hearing how you would describe the Bureau of Fearless Ideas.
I would describe the Bureau of Fearless Ideas as a safe haven and like a second home. Personally, I came here at a very young age, so I grew up here with everyone around me, and that gave me a new sense of respect for them. So definitely second family here at BFI. But what would you say as the executive director?
We believe that words well written and well spoken can create opportunity, invite possibility, and empower young people to be the authors of their own future. So we create writing, storytelling, and creative activities, build a sense of community, create a safe space for young people to try new things, to write, to share their voice. And we oftentimes do that through building a growth mindset. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what a growth mindset is?
I personally believe growth mindset is a mental process, sometimes physical, that you go through where you do hard things with a positive attitude and you keep persevering no matter who tells you you can't do it, and you just believe in yourself. That's what I think growth mindset is.
I love that. And we definitely all needed that kind of growth mindset this year. So one of the things I like about being on Zoom is being able to see everybody's home spaces. Tell me a little bit about where you are and how you've decorated it.
I'm in my room and I love to decorate it. So one of my big things is my infamous picture wall. It has a bunch of pictures to remind me of the people I love. And it's a big reminder like, hey, it's okay. We're going to get through this together. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. Where are you right now?
Well, I'm at Greenwood Pencil Box, Outfitters of Creative Adventure today. So one of the things that we did this year was to reimagine our retail space, which we've had since we opened as an organization. And to do that, we partnered with an amazing organization called Sanctuary Art Center that also does arts programs, but also does some arts internships, and created this new space, which includes the giant pencil, which when you all and your friends get to come back to our space and in-person programming, you'll get to enter the writing center through the pencil, because every great story starts with a pencil. So tell me a little bit about how the last year's been for you.
The past year in this pandemic has been a big blessing and a big curse. A curse because I haven't been able to socialize with really anyone besides my family. A big blessing because I got to be with my family. We reconnected more during this whole thing. And we got 2 furry new friends. We have a cat named Chaplin who we got like beginning pandemic. And then we got such an adorable little puppy. He's a Labradoodle and his name's Kai. We just got him recently. So yeah, how's it been for the Fearless Ideas?
Well, no puppies for us, but I would, that same sentiment of hard, but also amazing. So hard because we have done everything in person for so long and built community through games, wrote together, were able to display student work. And so we had to learn a whole new way of doing things. We moved to the virtual world, figured out how to do virtual after school programs, but really amazing because we found that everything we'd done for the last 15 years and the community we built and the strength and resilience meant that we were made for this. So again, we created after school programs. We started our own blog, The Fearless Times, where we create creative challenges and resources for families, students, and educators. We figured out how to bring the magic of our field trip programs into the virtual classroom, so have expanded that work, and even created the idea book, which is an amazing activity and writing kit that everybody's going to learn a little bit more about later. But speaking of writing, tell us a little about what writing's been like during the pandemic.
I will admit, at the beginning of the pandemic, I did not write, and if I did, it was very minimal. But now that I've got back in school and I'm reattending BFI programs via Zoom, I am writing freely once again. I've regained my voice, and I write about matters that have happened in 2020 and 2021, things that are old, new, and things I think need to be talked about. I am a big believer in the power of words. So expressing how I feel through writing has been a big thing for me this entire pandemic. But how's writing been for you?
Well, we've definitely learned that students are writing more than ever this year. It definitely has been a way to cope and share and grow together. I've even started to write more. So I wanted to share with everybody a piece of poetry that one of your friends wrote. So this poem was written early in the pandemic by Renaya, and she explores how she was feeling last spring. We shared it at our last People Eating and Giving, but really felt like it still rings true and is so powerful. So here's Renaya's poem, read by Faith Aiken, our lead program manager.
2 times a week, our fearless volunteers, students, and family members are logging in and joining us virtually for our Fearless Community Hours. We are continuing to laugh, write, and create together, even though we cannot be together in this space. It's nothing short of amazing.
This is a poem written by one of our Fearless Ideas students, Renaya. She wrote this piece for one of our virtual community sessions, and it is about her thoughts, feelings, and experiences during this COVID-19 pandemic. A Poem for COVID by Renaya, 6th grade. I feel alone, but with someone. I feel like letting the icy air greet me with kisses. I feel at home, but somewhere completely different. I feel like I know what's going on, but I'm multitasking, feeling completely clueless. Numbers, feelings, worries, hopes fill my thought box to the brim. I hope all is well. I hope my thought box gets emptied. I hope I can find where I am, and I hope that alone can find a friend. I hope that we can all hope.
Wow, that was truly a powerful poem, just like its writer. Renaya is not only an amazing writer, but has the most charming persona, and I promise you, you'll keep coming back to her. Quick question. How can our audience support amazing teen writers like Renaya?
Well, that is a perfect question for tonight. So you can make your donation right now or anytime throughout the event by clicking on the donate button below or going to the donate page on our website, fearlessideas.org. Phoebe, thank you so much for coming and talking with me. Loved hearing about how things have been and to catch up a little. And let's enjoy the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, and enjoy your night, everyone.
Wow, the early days of COVID feel so long ago.
And then came summer.
The Black Lives Matter movement took over the headlines.
It's a summer none of us will forget.
One of the slogans that sticks in my head is all lives don't matter until Black Lives Matter.
I remember people chanting, "We all bleed the same blood." When I heard all those voices, I thought to myself, it's about time.
It made me realize that Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream is still a dream. People are still treated differently because of the color of their skin or because they can't afford something. Racism and poverty aren't choices. They're a part of a cycle.
It's not about equality, it's about equity.
Black students at BFI created their own space for discussions by forming the first Fearless Ideas Black Student Union.
We are both a part of the BSU, and it's led by some of our older high school students at BFI.
In BSU, no one judges you when you're with other people who look like you, and you don't have to code switch as much. You can just speak your mind.
It's also nice to know that people are going through some of the same things.
Because the leaders of BSU are older than us, they can give us good advice. So not only do you get a chance to reflect during BSU meetings, there's always something you can take home afterwards.
Teenage students from BFI's Youth Advisory Board also joined with Seattle Public Library to do a live stream series called Black Joy and Mindful Movement.
They broadcast live to guide mindful movements and read stories for younger children.
Books that celebrate the strength, beauty, and joy of being Black.
Meanwhile, at our Yesler Terrace location, an internship program called Yeti was formed.
Yeti stands for Yesler Education Team Initiative.
Yeti was one of the best chapters in our odyssey.
Yeti is the Yesler Education Team Initiative. It's an internship based in the Yesler Terrace community, consisting of 5 students from 10th grade to senior year in college. Yeti teaches folks to learn from and for themselves. Yeti interns bring their culture, they learn from their experiences with BFI, and then they enrich the community by assisting teachers online, thus bringing up the next generation of 1st to 5th grade scholars at Bailey Gatzard Elementary. Now, intergenerational mentorship is that idea that when older students get a chance to be present to their younger peers, now, when that happens, something magical happens in a community. Young mentors, they strive to put on their best selves and put their best stories forward. And because young people read so much into the world around them, they know that they themselves matter. They have proof, and the proof is right in front of them. It's themselves. Now, this is one way that a community can rewrite history and see themselves as authors of their own futures. The way that we did this last summer was to connect Yeti intern stories to the things that they're personally passionate about. In other words, they found ways to transform the story of their identity into teachable moments. And these teachable moments are sources of deep pride. And as a capstone to their internship, Yeti's created videos designed to be shared across Seattle and beyond. And we want to share some of their highlights tonight with you.
Hello, my name's Felicia. My pronouns are she, hers, and her. This summer, I assisted Ms. Hansen with her first and second graders at Bailey Gatzler, and it's been a wonderful experience for me. My 6-word life story is being a girl means overcoming obstacles. Some aspect of my identity that I am proud of is my African background and my athleticism, because I'm an athlete, and what it means to be a girl playing sports, because that's something that's very important to me.
Hello everybody, my name is Rhoda. I go by she, her, and hers. As many of you guys already know me, I was assisting Miss Haynes this summer with the first and second graders at Bailey Gatzler Elementary School. And this was a really fun experience because I got to see what teaching was like, and it helped me build my leadership skills. To me, identity means the person I am, and most importantly, accepting that I still don't have parts of it figured out. And the different aspects that are really important to me are being a hijabi and being a Muslim girl that wears a hijab. My 6-word life story is being a hijabi means facing and overcoming obstacles.
Hi guys, my name is Nardos. I'm 15 years old. I work with BFI, and I also work with Miss Bauer with the second graders. My 6-word life story is I like to make people smile. And to me, identity means where I'm from, who I am, and my background. For example, I'm from Eritrea in East Africa, and I've been in the United States for 3 years. It was pretty fun working with you guys. I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna miss you.
With fall fast approaching, we had gotten used to navigating new waters.
The only way to get through this odyssey was to go forward. There was no looking back.
Teachers and students braced themselves to go back to school online.
The screen can in many ways be a portal to adventures the classroom can't normally reach.
But in other ways, the screen can be like a barrier between you and the teacher. Teachers were looking for new ways to engage their students.
The laptop was like a cyclops with one glowing rectangular eye.
And the Bureau of Fearless Ideas was the hero to outwit it.
Fearless Ideas called on their partnerships with illustrators and teaching artists.
And together, we've built online workshops that support classwork in fun and innovative ways.
One workshop that has taken off is a summit for creatures campaigning for a better world.
Students work together in groups to create different fantastic worlds.
Each world is mapped and brought to life by an illustrator.
The students hold a summit of delegates from all the different worlds
and make a presentation for their fellow delegates.
Here's an example.
Hello, citizens of Animal Central. My name is Kitty Cat, the prehistoric dinosaur cat, and I'm representing the secret dinosaurs of Animal Central. And we believe that we should solve the problem of nobody knowing about us and thinking that we belong in museums by introducing ourselves to the world and having you help us rebuild our home on our home planet and in Animal Central, not in the dungeon or a museum. Dinosaurs belong where you belong. Our first reason is that we've been living in Animal Central for a while, and we wanted to be treated fairly. Dinosaurs belong where you belong. Our second reason is that nobody belongs in a museum. All of us deserve better than that. It makes us feel very, 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 very invisible and sad. How would you feel if you were stuck in a dungeon or museum? You would not like it. So stop and think about that. Dinosaurs belong where you belong. Our third reason is that, as we say in Animal Central, treat others how you want to be treated. So we should be treated more fairly. Dinosaurs belong where you belong. In conclusion, we believe that the rest of Animal Central should help us. The secret dinosaurs of Animal Central rebuild our home. Dinosaurs belong where you belong.
While we navigated the online ocean and were discovering new frontiers, we hadn't forgotten about our roots in publishing.
We missed making bound chapbooks of class projects
and putting together our annual book that featured famous and soon-to-be famous authors sharing the same book spine.
You know, my story, Mr. Chocolate Pudding, was in the Encyclopedia Greenwoodia, a special book we published after the Greenwood explosion.
And my short story, The Snow Leopard on Vacation, was published in the 2018 What to Read in the Rain alongside authors like Richard Keim and Anastasia Renee. This past year, instead of putting together an anthology, we decided to try something new.
We began a new series of creative activity books called Idea Books.
Here's our creative director, Ian Bell, and program manager, Brian Wilson, to talk a little about it.
One of the coolest things about being the creative director at the Bureau of Fearless Ideas is getting to work with all these words and stories and poems and songs and cartoons that the students create, and then getting to lay those onto the pages of a neatly bound book. Our publications have always been a way for us to celebrate and elevate the creative voices of our students. When COVID hit, we're looking for ways to connect with our students in their homes, and the Idea Book presented this really neat opportunity for me to collaborate with the creativity of our program staff. The Idea Book gave us a chance to think of our publications not just as the really important record of creativity that they are, but also as generative engines of that creativity. We wanted to expand on this idea that when you pick up a book, there's the potential for a really meaningful relationship. What you find in the pages in the book can resonate within you. With the Idea Book, what you find in yourself can resonate in the pages of the book. Speaking of the amazingly creative collaborators that I have, here's program manager Brian Wilson.
Good evening. Since the beginning of the year, I've helped to create and distribute around 300 idea books to students in Seattle Public Schools' virtual classrooms. Along with the amazing teaching artist Camilla Franklin, we've hosted workshops in all of those classrooms to experience alongside students all the things that are possible in the pages of the idea book. Along the way, one of our wonderful Seattle teachers wrote to me to say, "I saw a lot of wonder in my students and exploration, which has been hard to harness this school year. It reminds me of the amazing power of imagination that's inside of writing." The great public scholar Sir Ken Robinson once said that imagination is the ability to bring to mind those things that aren't present. The amazing poet Eve Ewing wrote, "I like to use poems as what-if machines and as time travel devices." So while our workshops might reinforce writing concepts like settings and plots and spelling, our writing goal was first to travel imaginatively, to reignite that sense of what if and wonder that's at the heart of learning. Inside of your idea book, you'll find lots of wondrous things like seed paper and maps and a postcard. And on the postcard, you'll see Fearless Ideas Credo. Be kind, be creative, and be fearless. We just got our first return postcard from one of our idea book adventurers and authors. She's a 4th grader at West Seattle Elementary School, and she wrote to us to tell us about her creative joys and adventures from her idea book since we left her classroom. She also told us about her 9th birthday, which is coming up. Her letter was, like everything the idea book promises to be, a record from somewhere beyond our current circumstances, pointing toward where we might go together. It's a story about all the far-flung places that we've been while we've been at home. And the story is not done yet. That's the thing. Everybody has space to add to the idea book. And that's what you're doing by being here with us tonight. Your support helps keep our programs going. It helps keep alight that sense of what if and wonder and imagination. You help build the what if machines that will build a future that is creative and kind and fearless. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here, and have a great evening.
We've spun quite a tale. Now it's time to bring it home.
Let's go to our development director, Chris Robinson, who is standing inside our newly imagined storefront, Greenwood Pencil Box.
Outfitters of creative adventure.
Take it away, Chris.
One of the most exciting things that happened in this past year was the opening of our new storefront, Greenwood Pencil Box. Along with our nonprofit partner, Sanctuary Art Center, we worked hard to make sure this felt different than just a retail place. We wanted it to feel like a space where the community could come in and be inspired to be their own creative adventurer, just as we do with our youth and our young adults. But one of the coolest things in here is this stage that I'm standing on right now. We built this stage so we can have people come in of all ages and share their stories and words to the city of Seattle and beyond. COVID-19 has kept us from putting this stage to use until now, until tonight. Tonight, you have front row seats for the very first ever performance on the Greenwood Pencil Box stage. Here to perform an original poem written just for tonight is Pencil Box intern and up-and-coming Seattle poet, Trent Randall. I hope you enjoy.
If you give a child a pencil, they will make doodles. If you give a child crayons, they're introduced to color. If you teach a child that they're beacons of creativity, then they may bring about change and new ideas. But if you nurture a child's natural instinct to explore and breed newness, breed excellence, and add all the former traits mentioned above, then the child, in one way or another, will build about new ideas, new ways to express. And the Bureau of Fearless Ideas is a launching pad for said ideas to mature and grow. Take the pandemic, for example. Years and years go by with this normalcy in place. And children, much like us adults, old or young, have fallen victim to patterned ideals. We don't innovate, our creations are smaller. Phones are lasting less, batteries are dying quicker, and the Energizer Bunny my mother used to call me has become more of a lawnmower cord. My motor starts, but needs a few sparks to fully fly. If I'd have seen a place like the Bureau of Fearless Ideas when I was coming up years ago, I would have loved, cherished, flat out embraced the space. Maybe not in the outgoing sense that I do now, but having that freedom to create, that interaction, just to see other kids, other people. It truly works wonders for the human race. And with affiliates like the Sanctuary Art Center and pet projects like the Greenwood Pencil Box, the BFI scope of wonders is not lost on one area. Rather, much like the children we hope to provide to, the reach is vast, its vision limitless. The mission, to give young people opportunity. And be it now or later, that mission will continue and stride successfully as it did in past, more normal years.
Hello everyone in Webland. I'm Michael Kroll, the current board president of the Bureau of Fearless Ideas. I hope you're enjoying the program and are as inspired by it as much as I am every day I get to work with this amazing organization. Our credo is be kind, be creative, and be fearless. These are the attributes of the protagonists of our favorite stories. They're the traits that they use to overcome adversity, to learn new lessons, to find allies, and to move themselves to the triumph at the end of their stories. And they're the attributes that BFI instills in its students. It gives them the license to explore their amazing imaginations and to be delighted by their own creativity. It gives them the opportunity to practice their writing and to learn to gain confidence in their own ways of expressing themselves. And it gives them the courage to become the authors of their own lives. In the last year, the program had to move entirely online. And before anyone knew exactly how the world was going to shift, BFI went right with it, never skipped a beat. And they used those same attributes of kindness, creativity, and fearlessness to totally reimagine their program to a radically new reality, and never left the kids feeling alone, unsupported, or unloved. Doing that, and doing it for free, which is how we offer our programs to all of our students and families, requires that we get donations from people like you. This is where you come into the story, where you become the hero. And I'm hoping that tonight, or tomorrow, or into the future, you're inspired to support this organization with a gift that seems meaningful to you, because the more that we can do this, the better we think the world will be. When I was in high school and younger, I had a few teachers who recognized in me that I could write, that I could be creative, that I was willing to take risks, and they encouraged me to do that, just like the programs here encourage the students to do it. And because of it, I've been able to do amazing things in my life that I don't think I would have been able to without that. That's what BFI is doing every day with students around Seattle, and what you can support with your gift tonight or tomorrow or someday into the future or long into the future. Well, I hope to see you all soon in person again, but until then, be kind, be creative, and be fearless.
As you can see, it's been a long journey, and we're all still on this adventure.
Sure, we miss the way things used to be, but we've made so many new friends.
And built so many new ways of reaching out and supporting each other.
It doesn't feel like we ever left home.
It feels like it's always been with us. How we define what home means has really changed.
Home isn't a place, it's people.
People that you can speak to from the heart.
And who hold space for you to be heard.
So for us, despite this whole crazy odyssey, Fearless Ideas still feels like home.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Good night.